Well, hello everyone. I have not done a live stream in a very true live stream in a long time, but uh I'm Chase Yance. I'm just here to, you know, just recap a lot of what's happened over this past year since the start of 2025. A lot of things have occurred over that source of time. I mean, if you're watching right now, um, you can see that this is a completely new background. I'm in a completely new apartment, and also you could probably hear the background noise that's going on. I'm in a blazer, dress shirt. I never dress up for these podcasts at all. This is just kind of like a test run to see what this would be like if I were to do a podcast this late in the evening in downtown Cincinnati. But with that, back, good to see you guys again, and Chase Yance. There has been a lot that has gone on this school year for myself. And again, this is, obviously it's like, okay, who cares what this guy says? Who cares about what he's got going on? Who cares about, like, it's cool and everything. Congrats. Truly, if that's what you think, it's fine because that's valid. But the amount that I have not gone through, but the amount of stuff that I've involved myself in since August of 2024 over the last 9 months has been an immense amount. There have not been that many podcasts that we have done since football season, since the end of the college football season when Ohio State won the national championship. There's been more focused coverage on waiting all day for Sunday night, which again, trying to hash out and figure out some of the logistics on that. And there's a lot of things that have not been figured out, but we're going to try our best to do that. We're going to take a minute break, and I'm going to go over some of the things that we've done, and that just to catch you guys up on what has happened in my life since really the start of the school year, now that it is over. So there's definitely been a lot, and excited to share a lot of that information with you guys. We'll be right back. All right, we're back on the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast, the check-in, if you would. Just to state again, in a new location, studio, apartment, whatever you want to call it, okay? But to just recap everything that has gone on, I've got a running tally and a doc that I use a lot of when it comes to just things that I do. Every time I do something involving some sort of media, I log it. I log that. I log the day, what exactly it was, and what I got out of it, and what I'm going to improve on. Because again, it's like, oh man, like it's just me literally grabbing a mic and just talking my ass off, and that's about it. I mean, right now in this situation, yeah, I just walked out of work, just got done with work, and I sat down here and turned on everything and said, hey, let's just do a show. I don't know how many of you guys are going to see this at all, But again, I just felt the need to get on the mic. But it's one thing to like think about what has been done this year, but it's another thing to go out and say it and put it out there. So over the course of this school year, I, did your traditional 15 credit hours in both semesters, did that. On top of that, obviously, there are a lot of people that get schoolwork, that get their other work done, whether it be working a normal job to make the money, pay the bills and everything else, whether it be doing stuff that's involved with your major or an internship or anything like that. People do that as well. I've done that as well. But this past year, like, again, blessed and thankful to have these opportunities that have come my way, and definitely not scoffing at any of them, because you never know what that door is going to lead to. When I look at what's happened this year, I called 19 games in 2023, 2024. That means 19 games of football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, combined of all that stuff. And that's preparing for games before and then having to go to them and everything else. And I told myself at the end of the 23-24 school year that's got to get better. That's unacceptable. Only 19 games over the course of a 30-week semester is ridiculous. You can't be doing that. So I took that to a challenge, and I went from calling 19 games in a school year to 57 games this year over the course of 30 weeks. And there were a lot of days with schoolwork that was going on and everything else where there's a loud motorcycle in the background, but I really don't care. But there were a lot of times where it was like, yo, that's a lot of prep that you got to do a couple days in advance, try to break things apart. But I was like, you know what? That's completely fine. That first semester, it was schoolwork and games. It was just a constant toll of just, schoolwork, game, prep, all in between that. And then you go call the game. And it was a constant cycle that I just enjoy doing. I still enjoy doing it. I want to get to the point where I can, make my way up and try to do that. I take it serious. I take it real serious. And with a lot of that stuff, I haven't really been able to come on the podcast and produce any of these shows or any of that stuff. And it's gone down more and more and more. It was over the course of 5 different networks and platforms, was able to get a start with doing some stuff with ESPN Plus, and so grateful for that, because it has helped. It has helped my career and hopefully a launch pad to just keep going from there. It has been in connection with some great people throughout the industry and the higher parts of the broadcast world. It's been fantastic. And got a chance to host a bunch of feature interviews on there as well. So not just working on the play-by-play, but also the interview and the personal side of things. Done a lot of interviewing on these podcasts. We've had a lot of great guests on the show, media members and athletes as well, but having a chance to connect with them at a face-to-face basis, it really develops that level of trust with an athlete or person. It's like, I'm not just doing this just to get the rep. I'm not just doing this just to make it look cool or sound cool and everything else. I may post something on Instagram about it, so an opportunity that I had, or this, because, okay, one, like, it was a great opportunity, but the thing is, I'm trying to connect with somebody and have been able to harbor those relationships, and hopefully for the rest of who knows how long time will be. But, I appreciate every single opportunity I'm handed. Not even handed, that earned. So again, there haven't really been a whole lot of time for podcasts because I've been out there on this grind to the side, trying to work hard for what I want to accomplish going forward. And this past semester, I was able to step out of my comfort zone in a way, or into a new realm of, if that, and intern at WKRC Local 12 down here in Cincinnati, the CBS affiliate. And man, I learned a lot. I learned so much. Logged a lot of stuff, got a lot of opportunities to write some of these sportscasts, got a lot of opportunities to get on camera, to edit some video. There was a lot of cool stuff that I was able to do behind the scenes. And I'm so blessed that I was able to have that opportunity and try to make the most of what I was given and earned at the same time. And again, I just ended my last day there literally about a half hour ago. And it was kind of emotional on my, I was like, dang, like it's crazy how this has gone over the course of this semester, that I don't want it to end, and all good things must come to an end. But you can reflect back on it and say, man, that was a great time. And I learned so much from it. So this year, been able to do play-by-play, some color, hosting, sideline report, even having the opportunity to do that was big. At a 3-game stint up in Xenia, Total Athlete Tip-Off, that was a new venture that I was absolutely unsure about. I'd never done that before, but got more comfortable as the games went on. And there's still so much more work to do in that regard. That might not be my number one thing that I want to do, but it's still a good skill to have and try to go from that. There's been so much that I've been doing behind the scenes that I'm just trying to grind. And then, writing articles and everything else, trying to stay on that creative side and just become a more multifaceted version of myself, just trying to grind and do things I do. But man, the podcast has been the launching and elevating point from the time that this show started back on March 3rd of 2021, when it was me and Brady King basically on a phone call. And again, we've grown the podcast, but we haven't grown the podcast to where I've wanted it to go. And that falls on me. Again, I can make the excuse of there's so many other things going on in life. Man, life happens and you got to deal with it, But I just want to say that with circumstances that have come up over this summer, you're going to see this podcast very alive and very active, with a lot of content in many different forms, whether that be the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast with Brady King and Matt Ricketts, whether that be the Waiting All Day for SNF Podcast with myself and Alex Frank, whatever way it is, whether it be interviews, random interviews that just drop here or there, left or right, any of that stuff, we're going to stay on the grind. And I'll let in on something. I don't get paid a dime for any of these shows. We've done nearly over 200 shows. We've done over 200 shows. I have not made a damn dime off of this podcast, but I still love doing it. A lot of the games that I did back this past year, I didn't make a dime off of those either, but I still love doing it. Articles, interviews, didn't make a dime off of it. And I'm not mad at all about that. I'm not. I'm just glad I got the opportunity, because there's so many times when people get that opportunity or people get that chance And then they just start to kind of complain about it. Oh, well, I didn't get this. Oh, well, I have this, but then and sometimes I fall in that trap too. Looking at what other people have, or what it's a focus of what you don't have compared to what you do have, because it's greater of what you actually have compared to what you don't have, because that could be completely different. Your entire life could be completely different if you had this one thing, but then a bunch of other things fell through, So I try to keep that in perspective. And again, maybe I'm ranting. You know what? I'm just trying to speak from the mind and trying to have an understanding of what's been going on recently. And it is that there has not been enough podcasting going on. Now that the summer's coming up and there's going to be a lot of dead time in the sports world, whether for football and basketball, there's a lot more opportunity. And a lot of people during this time take breaks on their shows. This is the time frame for people to, we'll kick back, relax, and we'll just, we did our work. And bravo, job well done. You did your work throughout the entire season. But this is the time frame right now for us, for whoever is hands on deck with Cut to the Chase. And I'm calling anybody. I'm calling on anybody. If anybody wants a part of what we're trying to go forward to, and it's not even just for the love of the game, the love of the sport, whatever. If you want this, if you want to join and just push forward with us and have a good time, but also take it serious when we get on here and talk ball and just have a good flowing conversation and talk to some really cool people, just let me know. Truly, just let me know. Because I know that I slack in a lot of places. I know that I'm deficient in a lot of places. But I know that I care. And I know that my goals are very lofty and they are up there toward the sky. But the bottom line is I'm going to chase them. No pun intended. I'm going to chase after them. I'm going to reach. I'm going to try to climb to the highest level possible. We're going to try to climb to the highest level possible, especially on this show. So I'm excited to see what the summer has in store for the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast in whatever way, shape, or form, or platform, or capacity that it goes. But just let me know, like we are on the way. We're trying to keep this thing going and moving, and we're going to need your support to like and comment and subscribe and share this entire thing, because we're going to hopefully have a lot of fun with this thing. So again, that's my spiel. We'll see you guys here within the next week, and we'll get some more regular content and programming going on the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast. Have a great rest of your night.